Hey everyone, it's Julian, and today we're talking about a pretty big topic right now for Shadowverse. Today, July 26th, was SVO. You guys know I've been very excited for it, and it was a complete disaster. Complete disaster. If you are tapped into the community at all, you will have heard of a lot of the issues. I'm going to try to break down everything that happened. And this is not going to be too positive a video. I do want to talk about some positive things at the beginning, and we'll get that kind of out of the way. But I'm just really disappointed in Shadowverse. Really disappointed in the SVO team that has been really bad for years. I've played in SVO, basically 80% of SVOs since 2019. And it used to be a monthly thing, then they moved it to basically every 3 months. I played in basically 80% of those. They've always not been run well. And that was when there was only like 300 people signed up, right? So this time we got 1,000 people, and it was a crazy mess. We're going to get into that, but before we do, I just kind of want to talk about my personal, stuff of the tournament. So I did play in the tournament. I signed up for both time slots. We'll talk about what happened with those. And I did go 8-2. They had me at 9th place. The placings don't matter, but as long as you go X and 2, you qualify for the finals, the SVO finals, or the SVO kickoff finals. That's what they call it. And if you win that, you make some money and you get an invite to Worlds, right? And that was supposed to be next week. So we'll talk about all that, but I personally am very happy. I think I did pretty well. I'm really proud of myself. I'm glad I was able to do well in this first tournament for Shadowverse Worlds Beyond, right? I think it's really cool to kind of just prove yourself and stuff, right? And I think a lot of people had that mentality going in, but there's not a lot of people that are sort of in a position like me to be able to just sit on my computer all day, and we're gonna get into all of that, but I'm gonna start on the timeline. I just want to say, like, I'm very happy about how I did, and I don't want to be super negative, but we do have to talk about the big issues. And then also, you guys are interested in my run. We're going to talk about why I wasn't able to stream in a second. That's number one. But if you guys are interested in my run, I will be uploading all of my replays tomorrow in a big video. There won't really be commentary. I'll probably do a little snippet of talking in the beginning, and then it's just going to be all of my games. I played 9 games because one of my opponents was DQ'd right before we started for some weird issues regarding being named differently on the game versus the sheet or whatever, or the sign-up sheet. So, we did play 9 games, not the full 10, but we went 8-2. That's why it says 7-2 for me, but the real record is 8-2. So anyway, all right, let's begin. So I wake up. All of this is in PST because I live in California, right? So all of this is going to be in PST, so you can kind of convert to your time zone. And a lot of people, thankfully it was in the morning for me, right? But there's a lot of people where the time zones were really, really messed up, right? So let's start with the timeline. So I wake up, and I noticed the night before that the check-in time, you only have 30 minutes. Let me see if I can bring this up. You only have 30 minutes to check in, and it's between 8:45 and 9:15, which is, it ends 45 minutes before the real tournament starts. And supposed to start, right? And I get that they need to try to get some of the waitlist people in, and I think the waitlist had a lot to do with the issues of this tournament. But it just kind of a very small time window. I would have loved to see that be an hour long, right? You start at 8 and end at 9:15 or something like that, because that is a very kind of short window of time for people to be like seated at their computer or whatever, ready to play when you're not even going to be playing for another 45 minutes after that check-in ends. So that's just a minor thing, right? That's me waking up and going, okay, dang, that's, whatever, or I noticed that the night before, right? Sure, whatever. I could understand that, right? The waitlist. Then I'm getting up, I'm getting ready because I wake up at around 8:45, check in, and I'm preparing to stream at 9:45 because the tournament starts at 10, right? So I want to show you guys some messages. Let's see. So at 8:23, and again, I do want to just preface this with like, all of these people are human beings. Please do not go beat them up in the, online in the comments. I do think there's levels to this, right? I think that you should not, obviously, do not personally attack people or whatever, but I do think there was a lot of incompetency and communication issues with the team, the SVO team, and it's frustrating to me because I'm one of the only people, and there's a lot of veterans and stuff in the community that can vouch for this, but right now, there's a lot of new players, and they don't understand that this is a common thing. This is not a one-time thing. SVO has never run well. Like, that's just the fact. It's just not a well-run organization and tournament, right? So, again, this is not, they are obviously working. This is, their job or whatever, but they kind of messed it up today. So, anyway, so one of the admins at 8:23 a.m. Says, players who are streaming their gameplay, please do enable streamer mode and inform your opponent that you're streaming, plus add a delay on your stream to prevent screening. I assume they mean like stream sniping, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. That's all good. I was talking about how do I want to do it? Do I want to hide my hand? Do I want to put a delay on? But they kind of say, okay, the rules are you got to put a delay on. Okay, cool, sure. Informing your opponent that you're streaming, I think that's cool. I think that's a good thing just to be like, some people don't want to be on stream, right? Or whatever, right? And stream mode, I think that's a nice feature that they added to the game where, it hides people's names and stuff like that, right? Cool, okay, awesome. This was before I woke up, right? Then the same admin says later on the stream delay is voluntary. Okay, cool, sick. Then this was at 8:39. At 8:46, the main admin goes, "At everyone, start GG check-in is now up. Cool. Regarding streaming your gameplay for SVO kickoff preliminary 1 and 2, we would like to prohibit players from doing so. We will be looking into allowing streaming the gameplay during the tournament for SVO qualifier series with established rules for streaming." This was very kind of frustrating to me. I forgot to kind of mention this beforehand because this is before the day of, right? But a couple days before the tournament happened, we weren't even sure if it was going to be open deck list. It was very obvious to me, someone that's very tapped into this and trying to know every little detail about this because I want to be as prepared as possible, that they were making the rules up on the fly. They did not know if it was going to be open deck list. They were very vague about, oh, it might be open deck, whatever. We'll figure that out day of or whatever, right? And then their own mods, there's only 4 mods on this Discord server. Some of them, we're not going to go too into it, but there's a lot of, sort of, seemed like there was only one working at a time and stuff like that, right? But one of your mods thinks streaming is not only okay, but there's giving these pretty detailed rules, right, about streaming. They even update their, rules about, the stream is delays voluntary, actually. And then all of a sudden, the main mod comes in and goes, no, we're not doing streaming. And first of all, I don't know why. I really do not know why. But it's very obvious to me that they are making a lot of this up on the fly. And I don't want to be too, tinfoil hatty, but, is it because, they knew this was going to be a mess or whatever, right? But I don't know. I really don't know why they wouldn't want us to stream. This tournament was never streamed anywhere. There's no gameplay of this at all, which is weird because this is the first huge Shadowverse tournament on my stream that I pre-scheduled, right? I said it's the biggest Shadowverse tournament in the West ever. It's true. It's 1,000+ people for both time slots. So this would have been an amazing advertisement for your game, for your competitive scene, one of the things that is integral to Shadowverse, right? And they were just like, nope, not only are they not going to stream themselves, streamers can't even stream it. And someone like me, this is, personal, but that I'm, we're really growing the channel. I love seeing these new people come in, and I'm very thankful for how many people are, joining the channel and stuff. It would have been awesome for me to stream my run that I ended up doing pretty well on, and show, and get some new people in, right? That would have been very cool. course, again, I will be uploading my gameplay and stuff like that. And, if you guys are really interested in the gameplay, because there were some crazy games. Check that out for sure. But, again, it's just like, this doesn't make sense, right? So this is basically only affects me and other streamers right now, right? This is just like, oh, dang, that sucks. Not a lot of people talking about it, right? So, anyway, so that was 8:46. Check-in ends. Let me see which one this is. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that one in a second. So, basically what happens is check-in starts, and then check-in ends at 9:15. And it's like, okay, 45 minutes for them to put people in the wait list, right? So, okay, cool. Sitting there, waiting, just doing nothing, right? Then waitlist people are supposed to go on in pre-registration order, right? That's how, like, logically it should work, right? If you register first, you're, like, first in line, right? So when there's an open slot, you get in if you're next in line, right? What ended up happening was they were going in based on their check-in order rather than their pre-registration order. So when you're on the wait list, I wasn't on the wait list, but when you're on the wait list, you can check in, and the order of that is how they determine who gets into the tournament, not the pre-registration order. So that was messed up, right? So that caused an unbelievable delay. For the tournament that was supposed to start at 10 a.m. my time, my first round started at 12:20 p.m. And that was after several times of them going, ETA 20 minutes. 2 hour later, nothing. We're finishing up, yada, yada, whatever. Another 30 minutes. Oh, we're trying to add everyone back to the tournament. It's like, wait, did y'all remove us? Like, what's going on, Anyway, we were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, but we're finally in. I was in, getting ready to play my game. Then I started hearing, so round one starts. Then we started hearing about people that had not even checked in were in the tournament. So that meant people that were not even probably awake at the time. And then people who checked in at the tournament were being dropped. So people that were supposed to be in the tournament were getting dropped, and people that were not in tournament at all or did not check in time were getting put into the tournament. So that was a whole mess. And to my knowledge, a lot of that was not fixed. I didn't ever see anyone say, oh, I got it fixed or whatever. But let me know, again, also, side note, if you guys have horror stories about any of this day, please let me know. I'm just speaking from what I saw and from my experience, right? So please let me know in the comments. But then Pool 1, which was the pool I was in, had to restart some matches due to people being DQ'd too early. So what would happen is you'd go in. Of course, they wouldn't announce when the round starts, because, like, the round starts on the website as, start.gg. And then it's like 3 minutes later, they announce that the round starts. Thankfully, I'm on the website and I see, oh, my round started. Okay, go in. But if you miss the check-in, you're gone. You lose the round, right? So they had to restart a bunch of people on round one. And they wrongly announced this in the announcements. They said that round one would be needed to restart, and then they edited it to fix that they, meant, whatever that, only some people. I was like, oh my God, because I won very fast that first round. And I was like, if I have to replay the first round, I'm going to be so pissed. But anyway, then, so there's two pools. That's very important. There's two pools. I was in pool 1, and pool 2 started round 2 at 1:34 p.m. Again, thinking about it, that's an hour-long round. But that's, like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I play a lot of One Piece tournament stuff. Like, usually the first couple rounds take longer than normal, right? Just because there's a lot more people that are playing right now and all that stuff, right? That's for only pool 2, though. So they desync our pools. So pool 2 starts at 1:34. Pool 1, round 2, started 20 minutes later at like 1:54. So for me, I waited an hour and a half from the first round start to the second round start. And that is already after waiting, 3.5 hours from the official start of the tournament that was supposed to be at 10. So again, all of this is just so bad. A lot of it they blame on the program Start GG. They used to use Battlefy, which Battlefy had a couple issues, but it's really weird to me that they wouldn't think, hey, we are getting 1,000 people on this first time slot, right? This is the first one for this huge tournament. Maybe we should do a test run on Start GG, or maybe we should just do Battlefy. I don't know if they have some sort of sponsorship with Start GG, or if they don't want to use Battlefy anymore for whatever reason, or it costs less to do it on Start GG. I don't know, whatever, right? But obviously they did not have experience with the system, and they said as much. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a mess, So pool 2, yada yada. So then we're like an hour plus of waiting for each round. Then after round 3, we get an apology. So I want to sort of show that one. I believe this is it. Yeah. So sorry. So before they do the apology, let me find the like sort of the big. They did a big sort of like bullet point thing. Was this it? Yeah, they just do this whole like, here's what was wrong and everything, right? I just saw that they announced everyone, or announced there's a new @everyone here. I might bring that up later, but we'll keep going chronologically. So they say this @everyone. So again, our pool 1, or sorry, not pool, time slot. That's kind of what I'm calling it. The time slot, our first time slot. I signed up for both of them. It was at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. my time. So as you can tell, we're at 1:50 and round 2 has started. So me and I'm like, what's going to happen with the second time slot, right? The second time slot is same amount of people, 1,000 plus people, right? And it doesn't seem like they have a separate team. They don't have a separate Discord. How are they going to coordinate this? They can't even coordinate this first one. Again, I doubt they have like a separate team and stuff, right? So they say here, due to ongoing stability issues with Start GG platform, sure, and delays with preliminary number 1, we will postpone preliminary 2 to another date. The schedule will be announced at a later date, and there may be a rules change and format change. That's like huge, like, there may be a rules and format change. Like, what does that mean? Like, that doesn't sound like something you should just say. Like, feels like that should come with something like, here's what we're going to do, or whatever, right? Preliminary 1 will continue as is, but we'll also consider a makeup tournament for preliminary 1. This just seems like an option select, right? This is like, if we accidentally delete this whole tournament, there might be a makeup, right? It's like, sure, whatever. We're sorry to announce this so close to the start time, but our priority is ensuring a high-quality tournament experience for all participants. Please stay tuned to this Discord server for future announcements. Okay, cool. I do kind of want to just read this new one real quick. I'm just going to read it verbatim. I've not read it yet. I can't really get a screenshot up of it, but I'll just read it here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience in competing in SVO Kickoff Preliminary number 1. We again apologize for the tournament experience, and we will work tirelessly to revamp and rework our operations for the next event. Congratulations to the player who made it to the SVO Kickoff Playoffs. You will be given a new role and access to the playoff channel. Please be sure to watch the channel for updates on the playoff event. We'll update, yada yada. Okay, so literally, okay, we'll get a new schedule. So here's the issue with the scheduling, right? Is next weekend is the finals that I qualified for, right? Are they going to push that back? Are they going to put that preliminary, or the preliminary number 2 time slot in next weekend, and then that'll be the weekend after? That would suck. That would feel bad. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but the whole time slot is gonna be a mess, right? So anyway, let's go back to our chronological order here. We're around round 3, right? Here's where things get kind of crazy. Is around round 4, everyone got like placements on Start TCG as if the tournament was over. So it was like, you go in, I'll kind of show you guys what it is. It's like, you go in, go to your dashboard, and it's like, congratulations, you placed 250th or whatever. And it's like, oh, what just happened? Thankfully, that was fixed. That was not like a super, ginormous issue. I saw my friend found, where was this? Yeah, this photo. I thought this was pretty funny. There's a lot of memes and stuff going around, of course, about all this. So then, around round 5, Pool 1 got their rounds first, and round 6 of Pool 1 started before... Sorry. Around round 5, Pool 1 got their rounds first, so we kind of swapped, right? And round 6 of Pool 1 started before round 5 of Pool 2. And this lasted the entire tournament, where I finished my 10 rounds, and my friend literally was not into round 8 yet. So it's like, what? Like, and he was in Pool 2, right? And what ended up happening was, it seems like one admin took over Pool 2, and the other admin took over Pool 1. No comment. And then in round 6, this was a kind of issue I was seeing a lot. And this is just sort of like just a lot of rules changes were happening on the fly. So like in round 6, I automatically won because my opponent was using the wrong name in game, and someone reported it the previous round. So they did the round, right, and then I got paired up into them, and they had already been disqualified, right, before the round, like, or after the round started, right? So I kind of got a free win. But I was seeing this a lot where there was this one guy, I'm sorry if I don't remember your name or whatever, I didn't play against him, but I was seeing it in the support chat, where earlier in the tournament, someone said, like, hey, he's using the wrong name, and they didn't DQ him or anything. Then in round, like, 8 or 9, he got DQ'd, because they changed the rules. Like, they literally said, we're DQing people for this now. And it's like, that's crazy to me. I do not feel like that is fair. I think you really need to, and it's obvious that they did not have any testing, any, like, prior practice with the system. They did not have rules set out. They were just going, just whatever was going to happen would happen, right? They would just make, split second decisions and stuff like that. And that's been an issue forever. I mean, there was a very famous time where in SVO, deck lists are typically due like the day before or whatever, right? And one of a top player did not submit their deck, and they let them submit their deck like an hour before the tournament. And it's just like, you guys cannot do that. You guys cannot do that. That is not okay. They've always been not good at organizing this one. Countless other issues too, but this is of course the worst, right? So anyway, so all of that, eventually, we're just locking in. I just, whatever. I think everyone like was starting to have, more issues and stuff, but it was just sort of, all right, let me just, whatever. I finished round 10 at 8:40 p.m., but Pool 2 only just started round 8. I mean, that's ridiculous. I already kind of mentioned it, but, So anyway, so that is basically my experience from today. Overall, horrendous experience. Like, no surprise. This was terrible. It's frustrating to me, too, because it was so obvious that they needed help or new people to run this from years ago. Like, the last time I did SVO. I knew this. I knew SVO. They've never really been that good, And it's frustrating to me that Cygames sort of... I don't know if they don't care about the West. It kind of seems like they do, because it used to be, so in the back in the day, it was West, Europe, Southeast Asia. That was 3 regions, all under sort of SVO, but you'd have a North America tournament, a European tournament, and a Southeast Asia tournament all in 1 month, and you had a lot of high-level competitive streams and content to watch, because there's one happening every week, right? Eventually, they moved to... they combined North America and Europe to West, and then Southeast Asia, and then and then they started doing 1 tournament every 3 months. So very low amount of tournaments compared to once a month, right? In this game, there's no separation of anything. It's everyone, but they did these 2 time slots to accommodate for both sort of halves of the world, right? And I do feel bad for people that signed up for the 7 p.m. time slot with the intention of, I'm only going to sign up for one because this is my time slot and this is the best time for me to do this, rather than me who gets to just like sort of sit here on my computer and sign up for both time slots because I could, I just play or whatever, right? There's a lot of people with lives and stuff, right? So I would be very frustrated with someone like that was like planning around this, wakes up and goes, wait, there's no tournament? What the fuck? Again, really frustrating, really annoying. And yeah, I don't know. If you guys have any issues that I missed or whatever, please let me know in the comments. It's kind of a long video. But I do kind of want to just wrap it up with, Shadowverse had a really great opportunity with this game reset to prove themselves again as a really high-level competitive game and as a really good casual as well card game. They kind of failed on the casual aspect with the way the economy works and some of these things in the beginning of the game, right? I don't want to get so back into that, but there is just a lot of issues with the economy and stuff like that it's hard for new players to start at the game. It's nice that they're going to be giving us a deck every, set and all that, but, whatever. Competitively, though, competitive Shadowverse is such a big part of this game, and they started with the wrong foot with the best of two, or best of one 2-deck format. I think that format is garbage. I'm going to talk about that a little bit at the beginning of tomorrow's video where I do all of my replays and stuff. So they started with the wrong foot forward, and then this disaster that just proves that they do not really care about us in the West, because they literally just had a best of one tournament in Japan that ran fine, completely fine, right? And it was streamed and all of that, and it's just frustrating, man. I really wanted them to come into this game and go, we're going to basically be bringing everyone into the fold, because we really want this to be a worldwide competitive game. And terrible first impression. Terrible. My channel is built on trying to get new people, or one of the aspects I really want this channel to be about is getting new people to play competitive that have never dipped their toe into that sort of high-level gameplay, right? Because I think a lot of people sort of can do it, but they might just be a little nervous or whatever, right? And I feel really bad for people that I was getting excited for, because there's a lot of people that I was talking, in my Discord and stuff, they were like, I'm playing my first one, whatever, right? And I feel bad that I was like hyping this up, and it was a complete clown circus. Complete waste of time for a lot of these people. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be the video. Kind of got a little mad there, I think if anyone, I kind of doubt it, but if anyone like from SVO or whatever watches this, obviously there needs to be issues, but I really, 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 really hope you guys let people stream. I think that is literally free advertisement for your video game, and free advertisement for your tournament, right? This is, SVO was not like super popular back in the day. A lot of people did not super know about it, even though it was so easy to sign up. It was so easy to sign up back in the day. But there was a lot of people that I talked to that was like, they didn't even know what SVO was, right? But yeah, I love Shadowverse. This is, one of my favorite games. I'm really loving this new game, and I love playing at a high level and competing. And this was just not it. This was just terrible, terrible, terrible start. And I hate to say I don't see it improving much, to be honest. I don't see it improving as long as the people that are in charge are still in charge, or are still running it, unless you get like 2 or 3 new teams, right, to like really help people, run it and stuff. But all right, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Sorry this was kind of like a downer video. I really need to make this though, right? There's a lot of people talking about it. Also everywhere on Twitter and stuff, right? I tweeted about it a little bit too. But tomorrow I'm going to be uploading my replays, right, of the tournament. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. There was a lot of really crazy games. Again, at the beginning, we'll kind of talk about 2-deck best of one. And it's just like bad format overall. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.